My first thoughts on Fortnite's new game mode Reload, given the fact that the game mode started development in late May 2024, it has done an amazing job to capture the beauty of Chapter 1 in such a short space of time and still be in its own unique experience. The point of interest are all very good, bringing back Snobby and arguably one of the best houses in Chapter 1 too. And if you're in Retail and Tilted, it feels like you're on the original map. You can't really tell you're on a smaller map. Dusty Docks is a really interesting take on Dusty Depot and Dirty Docks, and it doesn't really feel like either. Let's talk more about the gameplay now. For 40 players, it's a really good sized map. The respawn timer until respawns are removed from the game is great. My immediate concern before the release of this game mode was that it would feel too much like Team Rumble, and people will just spawn dive on you. I have played a number of games at this point and it doesn't feel like that at the moment, but we do have to keep an eye on this in case it starts to feel like that. I feel like that's kind of what happened in my opinion to late game, but of course that is just my opinion. So we can't talk about this new Reload game mode without talking about the core Battle Royale game. For me, the game this season on Helios, the Chapter 5 map, has been a choppy mess. This might be more my end, of course, but it's something I'm still experiencing, regardless if it's my end, the server ends, or it's a combination of a couple things, but it's still something I am experiencing. But with this limited time mode, and by limited I mean fewer players, smaller area, it feels so smooth, it feels great. It wasn't choppy once, but if I was playing BR, it's laggy, it takes ages to spawn in, it takes ages to jump out the bus, and even once I do, it just feels like it's skipping, and then once I land, it hasn't been a great experience this season. But apart from leaving the game after I died or won the game, that was the only time I felt like it was taking a little longer to get out of it. But apart from that, it was great. Talking about the game feeling great, Reload has filled a void that I have expressed concerns about in the core Battle Royale this season for Chapter 5 Season 3. It's lost some of its competitive edge, making it feel like you're getting it eliminated and it's completely out of your control with the cars, with the nitro. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy Wrecked, but I just feel like the addition of the vehicles, the nitro, the guitar, it has ultimately stripped away some elements of competitiveness. Look, I think Fortnite needs to innovate, but there is something beautiful about simplistic styled loot and gameplay mechanics. And I don't really, but I kind of have to state, I don't want to get into an argument of casual versus competitive, but it is at the end of the day a Battle Royale and it needs to have some competitive elements to it. Since most of the controversy in Chapter 5 Season 3 kind of revolves around mobility, let's focus on the mobility aspects of Reload. So Reload has the Shockwave, the Junior Crash Pads, and the Grappler. Whether you're dishing out the mobility players or on the receiving end, it's really vital for Reload's gameplay. But unlike the Season 5 metas where it feels like the mobility mechanics are so much stronger, in Reload you have a chance. It's balance. Is it boring? I don't think it is. Is it boring if it stayed in? Possibly, but currently in Reload the mobility is done right. Now the loot. There are some questionable choices by Epic here, but I think overall they have done a perfect job. You won't hear any complaints from me, apart from obviously the ones I'm now going to bring up. The ARs are all good choices. Snipers are fine. The bolt, the hunting rifle, the shotguns are good, but there is one. The Ranger shotgun. The reload being slow, only having one bullet in it. Against the other shotguns in a 1v1 situation, you're going to probably lose unless you can get that shot kind of right. But I feel like that's the point. You are in squads and you are not meant to all be running around with gold pumps. Two of you have a pump, one had attack, and one kept that Ranger at a distance. That's fine. So when I look at it like that, the Ranger's fine. But a possible questionable thing is that there is mythics as well as exotics in the game, as well as the mythic goldfish making a return too. Of course, the thing we need to talk about is how they would go about updates. Changing loot pools, POIs, the map. But it looks like the first things they're going to do is introduce a duos and trios mode. But for day one, this is pretty positive. Currently, the zero build mode has 200k players, with the build mode getting 400k. Of course, it's a new mode, it's going to beat all the other modes. And the updates are going to make or break it. If it's going to be successful, it's going to have updates, it's going to change. But it is now another mode that Epic Games has to look after along with Festival, Lego, Rocket Racing, the core game modes, creative, UEFN, and they now have the reload modes. But currently, this is a success for Fortnite. I am loving the game mode personally, and let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about it, and I shall try and answer your questions. Guys, if you did enjoy this one, leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until next time, it has been your boy Mr. JLY. Till next time, bye bye.